Hey folks, hopefully everyone's having a great day out there. It's one of those warm Indian summer type days. We're not going to have too many of these days left, but I'm just out scouting, doing a small little scout. I'm on call for work, so there's not much I can do this weekend, but figure why not get outside for a little while. But anyway, we're starting a new series here. Probably going to post these videos like every 2 weeks. We're going to call it Themes of the Season, basically, Themes of the Whitetail Season. And what I'm going to talk about is like for that 2-week stretch of season, just themes that I'm seeing during that time period. So being in Wisconsin, I'm going to talk about the first 2 weeks of season. Kind of started mid-September. Now we're in October 1st. The first topic I wanted to talk about is the drought here in Wisconsin this year. I think that's played a significant role in seeing deer activity. The first hunt of the year, I sat over a watering hole right next to a bedding area and ended up having a really good hunt. Saw one shooter, 2 other bucks, and a bunch of different does. I mean, you could tell they were just in need of that water. And based off my scouting, I scouted a couple different properties in the area I was hunting. They were just pounding the water sources this year. At least so far in the first 2 weeks. So I guess that's something to keep in mind. When you get a drought like this, I mean, it sounds kind of obvious, but look at the watering holes. That's something I wish I would have done differently. I wish I would have marked a bunch of different areas that looked like it had isolated watering holes and scout them and hunt those watering holes. So I guess that's the first theme of the year. The second topic I wanted to talk about is the acorn drop this year. It seemed like a lot of trees were holding acorns this year. It definitely seemed like a bumper crop across the state of Wisconsin. However, one thing that I did notice on the white oaks especially is that the acorns were dropping early. I mean, most of my spots that I thought were going to be really good to sit on some white oak flats and islands and whatnot simply just dropped, before season started. I'm not sure if it was the drought or not, but that definitely threw a curveball in some of my hunts this year. So if you can still find an isolated white oak next to some bedding, I think it's definitely worth giving a shot of hunting. They're still probably feeding on that tree, the feed tree. Because I had a guy I met the other day, Jason, throw you a shout out, Jason, who shot a really, really nice buck on some public land, hunting on some acorns. I guess the third topic I wanted to talk about was the amount of east winds that we have had this year. It's been insane. Not that I'm complaining about it. I just don't recall a season having this many east winds. So, when guys are doing a lot of their scouting and whatnot, they're probably looking for that west or southwest prevailing wind, or even a south prevailing wind during the early season in September. But the east wind was dominant for most of the setups this early season. So that's why I think the key takeaway from that is to have locations to hunt for all sorts of different winds, because you don't know what Mother Nature's going to play or give you. So those were the main 3 topics that I wanted to talk about. And I just want to talk about what we got moving forward here. So obviously we have this nice Indian summer day, but we got a pretty big front moving through. The reason I'm bringing it up isn't so much, it's a cold front. I don't think there's going to be a lot of guys in the woods this weekend. It's last week of September. It's past the opener. It's warm out. Not a lot of guys are going to be out. So I think this next week, at least for public land, I don't think there's going to be a lot of pressure coming up here. So it might be a time where you get some boots on the ground, you find what you're looking for, and you might have some success this weekend. Another point that I want to talk about going forward is I think we're going to see a shift in food sources. I think the farmers are going to get a lot of crops out coming up in the next 2 weeks. It looks like we have a little dry spell after the big rain that we had, so they're going to be able to work on the field. So might be worth paying attention to what's being cut, what's not. I think there's still going to be some oaks dropping, but I think you're going to see a shift towards fruit type trees coming up here. And another thing that I see going forward is, it's kind of a theme of the first one. I think with another warm day here and no rain in the forecast, I feel like water's still gonna be a huge factor coming up to seeing deer activity. That's all I got for this episodes of Themes of the Season. Hopefully you guys like it. Like I said, we'll be dropping these about every 2 weeks. At least I'm hoping. It's kind of a one-man show doing all these editings and whatnot. So I guess we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching this one, and good luck.